Hello, hello, hello. Is the servant on time for once? At least I'm not laying here sawing logs, snoring, having my own little visions and dreams that get me through the day. So how you doing, Darlene? What's going on? Let me take off my glasses so I could see. I sought the Lord, and He answered me and delivered me from all my fears. Those who look to Him are radiant, and their faces shall never be ashamed. Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the man who takes refuge in Him. Ah, beautiful words. Beautiful words. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Type something in there. Let me know. Yay. Yeah, I was I did some prayers this morning after the show about like what is it? Like, okay, so I'll explain it this way. I'll get somebody that'll want to come on, right, to talk to everybody. And oh, thank you, darling, thank you. And they'll say like, and I'll say, well, hold on, I got to get everybody ready for that. It's one of those 50-50 issues, that kind of gets people riled up. Let me kind of feel the temperature of the room, right? Because like you guys aren't viewers to me or subscribers. You guys are my friends, right? Like I know you guys, each one of you, like in a more personal way, right? And so it's not as easy as just saying like, oh yeah, forget the people that don't want to hear this side of the argument or whatever, right? It's not that easy, right? And so you'll get someone that says, well, the truth is all that matters. Everything else is, forget it. But we have the word is all that matters, and forget. Um, maybe not quite in that way, but like, this is what it is, right? Well, the other side feels the exact same way, and they got scriptures in the Bible too, And I'm in this rare position, right, where I have no idea why, but I have this ability to see it both ways, right? Now, I don't know why, right? I don't know if that's a blessing or a curse, right? Because it does stir up a lot of questions inside me, right? As to what is the right thing. There are things I'm more sure about than others, right? But what is it about certain things that people can't, they don't want to hear it at all, right? Like certain things. And we encounter it, right? Like we're truthers, right? And in the world, right? People don't want to hear the truth, right? But like flat earth or stuff on the news or the jab or whatever, people don't want to hear it. And we're like, man, why don't people want to hear the truth? The truth is all that should matter. But you wonder, right? Like there's really not that many people that really can hear the truth. And this is the best of the bunch right here. This this group, right, is the best of the bunch when it comes to hearing the truth. I mean, we're as truther as it gets, but there are still things, right, that cause us to have an emotional response, which is crazy to think about, right? That 99% of the world is more crazy than us. I mean, that's a scary thought. That's a scary thought that when even we have problems with certain things that are 50-50 issues, right? And so I try to explain to people like, well, I got to go on these people. I mean, it's people are people. I'm part of the people too. We're all people, right? And it's more nuanced than just having what you think is an explanation. it's seeing how ready people are to hear it, right? And we should understand that and be appreciative that we even have this group that can hear this many truths. Like if I found someone on the street, just some regular person, and I got them to where you guys are right now, I would be ecstatic. I'd be like, wow, this person had a revelation. Their whole life has changed. You know what I mean? And I would appreciate that person like beyond, beyond anything, right? Just for listening and getting there. And then we always have this urge to push just a little further, push just a little further, find out more, dig more. And some of us, right? I hate to, factor in everything, but this is what it's about, all the variables, right? Factor in as many variables as possible, which is like how long has it been since how long have we been lied to? How much deception have we been exposed to? How much brainwashing, how much TV, how much music, how much movies, how much, you know, drugs, even, right? Homelessness, abuse, all these things that affect a person, right? And we finally get here after all those years of, just being, we're basically been abused by the world, you know? And it's like now we're at this point where we've heard things a certain way that felt comfortable, and now we're gonna have to like be uncomfortable to find out what's gonna happen. And see, the only reason why I'm even bringing that up, right? Because I mean, this late in the game, right, is probably too late to be forming brand new beliefs, right? But I think that we're gonna need to try to get ready for whatever's coming. And I keep thinking, well, it'll be another week, it'll be another month, it'll be pretty soon it's got to be at a point where it's tomorrow or it's today, you know, like eventually it will be that. And just with how crazy the world is, just knowing the world is crazier than me makes me scared. That's insane. All right, so let me say hello to everybody that is here. We have a nice small chat. That's good. Darlene is here, and Debbie is here. Faith is here. Welcome back. Shannon is here. Vader is here. All right. It's just the cool people here. So, what do you think it is, right? About, like, let's say, because always love having Tom on, right? Because me and Tom started the channel together, and I don't think we really knew what we had when we started. We really have a pretty good chemistry where I think we were just kind of good off the bat. And I don't think the devil expected that. I don't think we were supposed to grow like some of these other channels, you know? And but it did stop at a certain point. And Alex, to be honest, to be fair, Alex helped too a lot, a lot. I probably don't give him as much credit as he deserves. Um, more than half of this channel was built with Alex, and so that's important to mention too. But yeah, it's like we didn't realize what we had really, and when you find someone that you agree with that much all the time, it's that's pretty rare, because I've run into some people that have had like the great energy, like, oh, this person could be good, I know it, right? But like there's certain things I got to get over or past, and it's not stuff that you can just change all in one day. It's a slow process. And everybody, it seemed like they had like this super energy, like this super entertaining energy, right? Um, ended up being like not a Christian person, right? Like I'm like, oh, ugh, And so I just sort of been trying everybody that has like a good energy, so people pleasant to listen to. and I think that that's worked out. And the hardest part is like figuring out like times, right? Times for it to work out for everybody. And I wish I could go back to, yeah, Alex is great. Hey, Deb, that's an understatement. Alex is great. He's a young guy too. It's for a younger guy, he's amazing. And no, no, it wasn't disappointing. I would say it wasn't disappointing. I'd say it's just is what it is, right? And I've met a lot of great people that have helped out on the show that are great. I think Faith does a nice job. I think Chris does a nice job. But like the whole point, right, is like you put it out there for anybody to want to help, right? Um, Even people you've known, the whole time you've done the show. Not everyone's comfortable with doing it, or maybe they want to, but they just something about it they can't get over. So it's like the nervousness of it, or the focus every day, or like if things go wrong and people don't show up, and you have to, the show must go on, right? Those moments, right, like could be very, it's hard, man. Like when I have something planned, right, and I have guests, right, all planned out, and they can't go right now. It's okay. Like I tell people, hey, look, if you want to come on, that's great. And if you at the last minute don't want to do it, but you still want to be in the chat, just tell me and it's cool, right? Like I don't. It's not like that anymore with me. I'm good at like rebounding from that. Some of those shows end up being like the best ones. But I like that's what it was at the beginning, was like all the different guests, right? But see, we weren't just a Christian show at first. We at first it was just like we had truther friends, and we interviewed them, right? And we kind of came to like, I don't know if it was me or him, or probably me, got to this point where I started to see a pattern, right? Like, wow, truthers come and they can only go two directions. Once you know that there is a creator, um, it's like, oh, you've been watching the last couple of days and enjoying the show. Oh, I'm glad, Adam. Thanks. Welcome. Adam Jones, right, was the name of Pac-Man. Pac-Man, the video game. And that's an interesting fact, I guess. But yeah, and so what I've noticed is like, or back then was that like a pattern that people are either Satanists or they're Christians at a certain point. You can't deny a creator after flat Earth, and finding out how many lies there are, and that everyone's lined up, and in opposition to you. Everyone in power is in a secret club. All these voyages and missions are named after like antichrist gods, right? It gets pretty apparent after a while when you start to put all the synchronicities together. And so we noticed that there was far fewer Christians than there really should be, and we just kind of wanted to have a place for Christians to go because we're outnumbered by a lot. I mean, by a lot. People would rather it be another way. And it seems to me like it's the easiest way is to be free of, like for God to come and get us out of trouble. Like that seems like the best way. Why would I want to dig my way out of all that? I mean, you still try, right? To be better every day. I try to be a good person. But just to know that God has our back, and it's not on us, right? The pressure is not there, because wouldn't that make you crazy to always think about, oh, am I saved? I want to know if I'm saved. Maybe I'm not saved. Like that would drive you crazy. Hey, Anti-Venom, how you doing, Karen? How you been? What's all the elbow coughs? You always send that, Debbie. What is that, all the elbow coughs? That's so funny. Did you know that those are elbow coughs? Anyway, you guys are goofy. Oh, those are dabs. But it's said, okay, so this is what's funny, right? Right, but this is what's funny. Those are dabs, right? But on okay, in how I'm looking at it, right? I'm not in YouTube. I'm in I'm in StreamYard only. And so yeah, it doesn't show me the emoji. It just shows me the function, right? And so it'll say elbow cough, elbow cough, elbow cough instead of showing me the picture. It just like it'll say like like I don't know, like like little hug or something like that or yeah, it's funny. Reaching hug. Yeah. Yeah, crying laughing. And so you're thinking it's dancing, and me, I'm like, why does she keep saying elbow cough to people? Uh-oh, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Let me see what you were gonna say. Isn't there emoji for something kids were doing? Oh yeah, yeah, the poop. Yeah, it's just POOP with like they're like parentheses around it. It's just P semicolon. No, it's parenthesis semicolon POOP semicolon and then a parentheses. Yeah, you're good. Don't have me read them all out. This is getting out of control. This is getting out of control. Yeah, I can just tell that everyone's looking at all the options, right? I can already feel it. I can feel it. I know what you're doing. I know it. Yes, yes, I do have a gift. Yeah, it's crazy. But like, I mean, why can't we form like a group where it's like, okay, well, maybe we each do something like different, or like maybe we'll each do a stream. I just do mine in the morning and someone else does theirs, and then the next one. Stop messing with Steven. No, you didn't get kicked out. You're back, right? You did a lot of hard work to come back, Deb, and I'm proud of that. You know how hard it is to spiritually grow when you're already a grown person. It's pretty. It, yeah, it's pretty good. Yay! How you doing, Sheila? No, you're not really late. I mean, we're just chilling. They were doing emojis, and I was like telling them what the function words were because I don't see the picture. I just see the function words. And so they were putting poop in the in the hugs in the uh elbow cuffs. Yeah, laughing about yourself is good, but I mean, you grew a lot. Like, you're more tolerant and understanding about. There's a difference between coming back because you deserve to come back and then end up in the same thing again, and then coming back with a warm reception, And I'm happy that you trusted me with that. Yeah, yeah, I missed it. Just some chilling. That's all it is. Yeah, there's the hug, the reach hug again. It's like, here we go, scroll up. Yeah. Have you ever thought about, Sheila? Have you ever thought about just like doing the HWGA? Like, you got to get a hat that says that. That'd be so funny. Instead of like MAGA, it says like Haga or something like that. Not in a bad way. Don't get mad at me. Yeah, don't get mad at me. I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean it in a bad way. That would be hecka funny. But like someone pointed out to me, right? Like with that MAGA hat, right? MAGA, Microsoft, Apple, Google, and Amazon. And I was like, what? I know that sometimes people will add like their own acronym to things afterwards, and that's not what it was really meant to be. But that is the government basically. I think like when people say like, oh, Google is controlled by the government, I think about it like, no, Google is the government. What are you talking about? Like Google is in charge of the world. I wonder if like AI has always been around since like the beginning of computers, and Google is its own like being, and you wonder like how much does that have control over like the world and everything. Because how would you remember all the rules to all the different nations, right? Like to have one leader run the whole world, right? Like it would have to be a computer. Oh yeah, big tech, yeah, technocracy. I mean, they were trying to do that since the 30s, and that's not even like a big secret, right? I mean, the strange part is that they started it in Canada, right? It wasn't even an American idea. It was American business people, but up in Canada, they were going to start it, and they started it with like how they kicked it off was with the Roswell thing, getting people to think, oh, there's possibly people from other planets. You know, I mean, how else would they be able to get away with having a computer, right? That has a rainbow apple with a bite taken out of it, and it cost, the mark of the beast price. I mean, how do they get away with that? With nobody saying anything? That's very odd. Like, what bizarro world do we live in that they let that happen? You know what I mean? Like, I don't even remember it being a thing or anybody mentioning it once. And whatever happened to serial killers? Didn't there used to be a serial killer all the time out there loose? Ted Bundy was out there, and that BTK killer, and what was the other one? Jeffrey Dahmer. There was one every, like, seemed like every 4 or 5 years, there was always somebody to fear. Now, they don't even have those anymore. So what are they trying to tell us? It's like serial killers just stopped in the middle of, you know, there's just no such thing anymore. I mean, that's insane. And then I started thinking, like, is it even possible for someone to be a serial killer? Yeah, I mean, it makes you feel like a fool right at this point, right, for falling for it. But it's like, what could we do? How are we supposed to know? How are we supposed to know that we can't trust, like, our own people that are supposed to take care of us? And not only that, but like, it's not like technology and computers and TV are really that old. It's less than 100 years old, right? And so it's not like, in the 80s when we're watching TV, the TVs were even been out that long, 30 years maybe. It was still brand new. Oh yeah, see, I don't even watch that anymore. Did they find a number of bodies though? Like looking for what was her name? Gabby Petito? I mean, just looking at her, she looks like a celebrity person. She doesn't look like a regular person. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. If you don't, then you don't. Celebrity people look different than us, I think. What's up? Yeah, yo, mama. Yeah. Remember that from what's his name again? Soldier Boy. You remember that song? Yeah. If that is from that song, I'm gonna go nuts, man. But if it's from Yah like God, then that's another thing. Because a lot of people call God Yah, right? But Soldier Boy had that song. His agent called up, Soldier Boy, you at school? Yeah, and he hung up the phone. I'm like, damn, he's a little kid. He could just do what he wants. He's like 12 years old. He's got like, a black Amex in his wallet. That's crazy. They found dozens of cold cases while they were looking for Gabby Petito. That's crazy. Hold on a second. I gotta put it on mute. I gotta blow my nose real quick. That's gross. But I did sleep good. I did sleep pretty good in between shows, man. I was like, I'm starting to sleep longer than 2 hours each time I go to sleep now. And that's what's scary in one way that, well, what am I supposed to do, Faith? At least I put the microphone off. Or maybe I shouldn't have said anything. I should have just said I need to take a minute. I don't know. I got that big old nose, they've been talking about. Like, what is that animal? The elephant. It's an elephant's got a big nose. Or an anteater. Cop cam before. Oh, you been on a cop cam crying before? I didn't know that. Wow. It's not like my nose sounds like a trumpet, though. That would be messed up, huh? Then we're having 12 conversations, and I picked the grossest one. Some of these, like, I like these channels that are coming out or like that have been out that have like the audio Bible on them, right? So they've gained subscribers over the years just by people subscribing to the Bible. And then they do like these little small videos about just salvation. They'll have like a different one every week about, how to be saved. And I think that is so valuable. I think that's so valuable to do. And there's a couple good ones, where they just keep it simple. They just tell you, this is what you need to do to be saved. And not in a condemning way, just this is a statement of truth. This is what you got to do, you know. Yeah, but see, Deb, here's the thing, right? Like, yes, there's the narrative, right? But then there's also, is the narrative true, right? Like, did they make the whole thing up to appeal to our yeah, the ads are every other minute. Yeah, I know it. Well, see, I got the premium YouTube or whatever because it was worth it for me because, doing the channel and all that stuff, it's worth it just to have premium status, so I could just click on things and not have to worry about an ad. And maybe that's good for me to not see ads. I don't see ads anymore. And so maybe there's, I don't know, less hypnotism working on me. I don't know. Yeah, but you're right. Like, the ads are every other minute. But for $11 a month, I think it's worth it. You don't think it? For $11.99 a month, you don't have to see any ads? Or maybe that they just grandfather it in for me. I'm not sure. But see, here's the thing, right? It used to be they couldn't advertise on my stuff, right? Because I'm not monetized. But now they like they made like in order to even continue, they make you sign this new agreement that like you have to click I agree or else you can't even continue on your page. And they can put they haven't yet, but they can put ads on it if they want. But it's them putting ads on it for them to make money. And I think that's kind of unfair. And see, like it's just like it's this is how they do it, right? If you don't make money, right? If you don't make money through YouTube, you have like your constitution rights of your country. So I have like free speech to a degree, right? But as soon as I partner with YouTube, right, to make money, then I'm their employee. I'm contracted with them. And you don't have free speech. You have like what you would have like at work. You can say there's certain things you can't say at work, that they have some control over that. So you're way better off, yeah, not taking money, especially if you're going to talk about God. I mean, I'm already going to be judged harshly for that, you know. It's very serious when you start saying what you think God thinks. And I take that very serious to the point where I have like speech habits, bad speech habits, where I say all the time and right. Because I'm scared. I'm in fear and trembling of my Lord and Savior. Like, I want to do everything right. Yeah, that's so crazy. You only have a phone? Yeah. See, I have a TV, but it doesn't go on. It's only here in case my kid comes and plays video games, but he hasn't been here in a little bit. I keep my room all, made for him too. I don't even go in there anymore. Well, for either one, if they want to visit, but my oldest one doesn't visit me. Isn't it weird how it works out with the kids? Like, I have like more in common with the oldest one, but me and the youngest one are closer. It's weird, huh? Yeah, Gabby. Yeah, but so many people are missing, right? And then of course they always pick, blonde chick, right? It's almost insulting. Like, what about regular looking people? Don't they get missing once in a while? You know what I mean? Like, what if you look like me, like a tree stump? Like, what am I gonna get saved? Are people gonna come save me? Well, they're only gonna be looking for Brad Pitt. Yeah, I know it. And see, that is real. Like, this is why I know that a lot of that stuff is fake on TV, right? Is because there's murders that happen outside my house all the time. And you never hear about that. You never hear about them on TV, right? There's always a helicopter flying through here. And the ones you see on TV, it's like, man, how did you get all the angles and all this? That's not how, things happen so much faster than that. It's like, hey man, what's going on? Oh, get off me, man! No, you get off me, man! And then it's like it's over. It's never some like organized thing where like two guys are punching each other like it's a sport and then like a gun comes out. That's not how it works. It's things happen, escalate fast, you know? How do they get all this footage and all these interviews from people? Because every time there's something goes down out here, people scatter. You don't even, how would you even find someone to do an interview? None of it makes no sense. Oh yeah, Luke just put out a video. I should ask him to come on my show. He'd be a good one to talk to. I told him to email me. I wonder if he did or not. Yeah, I mean, it's true, right? That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Oh, so they did. They never found her, huh? Oh wait, maybe I'm not reading the right thing. Let me see where I'm at here. You're still talking about Gabby being missing or a friend? Uh, I get it. I still think they make these things up to pull on our heartstrings, but I think there's real ones all the time happening that they just never talk about. And there's all these, oh man, it just breaks my heart to think about people being victimized in the world. It breaks my heart. See, that's not even enough. It's soul crushing, you know? Oh my God. Well, did you remember, way back in the day, like Adam Walsh and there was, Michaela Garrett and Polly Klaas, all these different kids that were missing. And there was one in Colorado. She was like a beauty queen. I don't even know why they do that to their kids. I guess it's tradition or whatever. I couldn't imagine putting my kids in a beauty contest. But I guess maybe it's different in those states. I don't know. What if it's not a psyop though? Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. I mean, there is the other side of it, right, Sheila? Always. And I wouldn't be realistic if I didn't think about that side too, right? That it wouldn't be a healthy way to think. So yeah, it could be. And if I did like have an image of somebody they said was missing, I would be looking for that person for sure. I think instinctively, just if that's the kind of person you are in your spirit, you would still look, right? Just because naturally you want to help. Yeah, I know it. Ugh, it's just heartbreaking, especially when you don't know if the parents were involved, friends of the family. Mm. And see, they love depended on like if there was a church involved or whatever to try to to try to somehow link that in with God. And that's just like the most evil thing in the world is these big organizations that use God as a front, right? That's the worst. And then people can't separate church from God, right? Some people. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're all different, right? Some of us care about like what's around us. Some of us care about what's a bigger circle. It's just that we're different. It's no big deal. Yeah, it is what it is. We're just all different. That's all it is. We're supposed to be all different, or or else we wouldn't be able to. The world wouldn't be able to go around if we didn't have all different types of people that cared different ways. Like this is like how Jesus, described us as being a body, right? Or even Paul, right? We're a body. Like some of us are a hand, and you can't ask the hand to do what a foot does. You can't ask a foot to hold the spoon, right? So if we all cared the same way, right, then yeah, if we all cared the exact same way, we wouldn't be a body, right? So some people care about a tighter circle, some people care about more people. That's just how we're wired, right? And these are gifts that God gives us to be empathetic. Yeah, I mean, I think that, and this is all kind of like, it is high emotion when we talk about things like this. Yeah, it's high emotion when you start talking about like people that, you know, maybe had future or promise and didn't make it, or, that kind of thing. Sometimes I wonder, right, if we didn't have TV, if any of this, you know what I mean? Like, since when did the TV become the biggest voice in the house, Instead, it should be like our mom or our dad, but instead it's the TV or the computer. That's right. You're darn right. You can pray for whoever you can pray for whoever you want. Darn right. Well, I don't know about that, Vader Jones. That's you're kind of painting a brush on it. Yeah. Okay, yeah, you're making more sense now. We're just different. All right, guys, it's time to hit the old dusty trail. Yeah, Faith, 9 times out of 10, it's communication thing. It's we don't like I have the benefit of knowing like most of the time I have the benefit of knowing both people, right? And knowing what they mean, right? And sometimes you don't know what someone else means, right? Maybe someone does get like if they were to worry about something like that, they would get more emotionally charged up. So that to avoid that, they think of less stuff. And maybe some people can think of all that stuff, right? It's just being a different type of person. That's all it is. All right, guys. Praise Jesus for his sacrifice and his grace. Let's think about the star of the show here, right? Um, all glory goes to him. He got us out of here. He took a big punishment for us. Thought about every hair on our heads, right? You are basically God's idea. He knew exactly how you were going to be, different or the same or whatever, and he wants to spend eternity with you. And I think that that's amazing. And so, God bless you guys. And I will see you tomorrow at 7 a.m. California time. Pray for the